We're going to be talking about putting your keywords in the ranking mastery system. There's a process we're going to go through, but first, before that process starts inside of the software, we need to determine what the keywords are that you're going to use in the system. And for my business, one of my businesses anyway, I have 5 keywords here on the screen that I've chosen, okay, through the research I'm about to show you here. So I've got anti-bullying school assemblies in California, BMX school assemblies in California, Red Room Week school assemblies in California, all the way down here. So these have been the most profitable words for me to use in my business. So what are those words going to be for you, and how can you find those? We're going to start by doing something really simple here by opening Google here, and we're going to go and we're going to look for the keyword. So for example, if you're a professional coach, right, you're going to type into YouTube the words that you want to be found for. So let's start out with professional coach or coaching. Okay. Now we're not using Google itself, because if we do that there, I'll show you why. Okay. We're going to get searches, but in YouTube, if I type in a search, so for example, professional coaching TED Talks, I can then get a result of videos, and I can also see how many people have watched the video. Okay. And that helps us gauge if the words we are choosing are valuable or not. Okay. Obviously, if you choose a keyword phrase that doesn't have any or has very few views, then you know it's not of interest to you. So it's very difficult for that to happen here in Google, because they don't really show that. So if I type in professional coaching, they don't really show how many views are getting on this particular thing. So in YouTube, we can do that. Okay. So as you're doing this, we're also going to notice what's called the secondary words, okay? I call them the words that are variety. For example, you may be a professional coach, okay? But you also may be possibly a professional coach for TED Talks, for goals, for training, for software, for benefits, all the way down the line. So each word on the end of professional coaching is a different word. So technically, you would definitely want to have an opportunity or a website in Ranking Mastery with each one of these words. So I encourage you, if you are a professional coach, I would write down these last words. So we have professional coaching. You're going to write that one down, okay? But you're also going to write down each one of these extras here. So if I were to do this, I would just copy that one, and I'm going to put it there. I'm going to maybe break this in half here, and then I'm going to go down. Okay, I'm just scrolling down with my up and down arrow, and I'm going to put this one. I'm going to make this smaller so that we can see more of them. Okay, and I'm going to take off the N-words, and take this right here. Copy that one. So now I'm beginning a list here, okay, of different words I want to be found for. So you may put just, instead of professional coach, life coach. Same thing's going to happen, right? So life coach. And you can do training, okay, so maybe that applies to you or not. I would just create a good sized list, okay, and maybe now it's business coach. Okay. Again, Google's telling me what people are looking for down here, so I would kind of go with what they're saying versus what we think. Okay, so business coach training, do a space, business coach scams. Maybe you could actually make a page talking about scams. Business coach in India, all the way down. So now that we've created a list, okay, of our 5 keywords, okay, now we have something to work with. And I would encourage you to do as many as you can. You can spend an hour, you can spend 2 hours, you can spend 5 minutes, but you can create a list of what you're going to use. So now that you have that list, I'm going to just revert to my list here. I'm going to go back to Ranking Mastery and now show you how that's going to start the process of putting these into Ranking Mastery. So you're going to be prompted with a screen that looks like this. And you probably won't have all these keywords here. You might have 1 or 2 because we give you some default keywords to work with. At the bottom here, we're displaying all the keywords we have accumulated based on your industry. Okay, so in the case of this one, we have quite a few here. So what you want to do is kind of level up against your list, your long list that you have here, and see which words will fit in these different rows. So we broke them up into 4 different rows, and the reason we do that is because just as we have done here, business coach, scams, trainings, blah, 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 you only need those words to be in the 4th row here, because business coach is going to be here, but it's going to be down here as well. So in the case of here, so you can see all these different variants are going to end up in the 4th row, and all the variants of your service will end up here. So if you're a business coach, a business trainer, a business teacher, they're all going to end up in this 3rd row. So we try to maintain this 3rd row as more of the services, products and services that you offer, and this one more of the locations or the type, for businesses, for cars, for trucks, for vans. All of them would go in number 4. And the first 2, well, those can be just kind of pretty much anything can go in those. Anything goes that's the relevant keyword. So if you see here, I've got anti-bullying, school assemblies in California. So if you go here, you can see the anti-bullying's here. You can see that school assemblies is maybe in this 3rd row here, school assemblies, and in California should be here. So we have broken them up into 4, sometimes 3. So what I want you to do now is to go through this list here and only pick the ones that are relative to your primary keyword set. You're only your top 5. We don't want to get too crazy right now because we want to get ranked for 5 to 20 different keyword phrases and then work on that to go forward to get more and more of them. So by simply just clicking on the add button, so if I click add, it'll now add that to the top here. So you see corporate has been added, and you keep adding them all the way through here. Okay, go through the row 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and add all the words. Again, I don't want you to get crazy here. I would only add 5 or 10 to each one. And if there are none there that work for you, then we're just going to move on to the next step where we're going to add them individually on your own. But this video is basically covering just adding these by clicking each one of the ads into those. In the next section, we're going to do adding the custom ones that you have chosen that are in your list over here. So we've created our phrases. We've done the research on YouTube and on Google to find the keyword phrases we'd like. You can use other keyword tools if you're more knowledgeable about SEO, but I try to use the basics here because this, again, shows the amount of views. And then you're going to add them here and then go through here, adding them into Ranking Mastery. And then we're going to move on to the next step.